So in our last sarf lesson, we learned al-madi al-majhul, the past tense conjugations for those words who it's not known who the one doing the action is. So that, to give an example, kataba means he wrote. That's al-mudari al-ma'lum. It's known who wrote, he did. If we want to say just it was written, we know that something was written, but we don't know who's the one that did the writing, then we would put it in that pattern fu'ila and say kutiba. It was written, kutiba. Today we're going to learn al-mudari'ul majhul. Today we're going to learn al-mudari'ul majhul, the present future tense where it's not known who's doing the action. Fairly simple and straightforward. It's just, again, those 14 verb forms, one for each of the pronouns that we learned in our first lesson, and we just have to memorize them. Yuf'alu, yuf'alani, yuf'aluna, tuf'alu, tuf'alani, yuf'alna, tuf'alu, tuf'alani, tuf'aluna, tuf'alina, tuf'alani, tuf'alna, uf'alu, nuf'alu. Yuf'alu for huwa, yuf'alani for huma, yuf'aluna for hum, tuf'alu for hiya, tuf'alani for huma, yuf'alna for hunna, tuf'alu for anta, tuf'alani for antuma, tuf'aluna for antum, tuf'alina for anti, tuf'alani for antuma, tuf'alna for antunna, uf'alu for ana, nuf'alu for nahnu. If we want to plug in a word to use for that, to take some root letters for another word and plug it in, we can use, for example, let's use the verb yasma'u. He hears. So the past tense al-mudari, the past tense al-madi al-ma'lum for he hears is sami'a. The al-madi al-majhul, past tense where it's not known who's doing the hearing, is sumi'a. It was heard. The present tense al-mudari al-ma'lum, when it's known, is yasma'u. He hears. Now we're going to follow this, our new pattern, al-mudari al-majhul, for it is heard. Yuf'alu, it is heard. Yuf'alani, the two of them are heard. Yuf'aluna, the plural, the group of them are heard. Tuf'alu, she is heard. Tuf'alani, the two women are heard. Yuf'alna, the group of women are heard. Tuf'alu, you male are heard. Tuf'alani, you two men are heard. Tuf'aluna, you group of men are being heard. Tuf'alina, you singular feminine are being heard. Tuf'alani, you two women are being heard. Tuf'alna, you group of women are being heard. Uf'alu, I'm being heard. Nuf'alu, we are heard. Fairly straightforward, simple. All we have to do is memorize. Yuf'alu, yuf'alani, yuf'aluna, tuf'alu, tuf'alani, yuf'alna, tuf'alu, tuf'alani, tuf'aluna, tuf'alina, tuf'alani, tuf'alna, uf'alu, nuf'alu. Over and over and over, repeat that over and over and over until you got it in your minds, and then we move on to the next lesson. Yuf'alu, yuf'alani, yuf'aluna, tuf'alu, tuf'alani, yuf'alna, tuf'alu, tuf'alani, tuf'aluna, tuf'alina, tuf'alani, tuf'alna, uf'alu, nuf'alu. Yuf'alu, yuf'alani, yuf'aluna, tuf'alu, tuf'alani, Fairly straightforward. All we have to do is memorize. Repeat these over and over and over until you have them in your mind so that you never forget them. يفعل يفعلان يفعلون تفعل تفعلان يفعلنا تفعل تفعلان تفعلون تفعلين تفعلان تفعلنا أفعل نفعل. Over and over and over. يفعل يفعلان يفعلون تفعل تفعلان Fairly straightforward. All that's left for us is to memorize. Repeat those over and over and over again until you have them in your mind such that you never forget and you never make a mistake. يفعل يفعلان يفعلون تفعل تفعلان يفعلنا تفعل تفعلان تفعلون تفعلين تفعلان تفعلنا أفعل نفعل. Then get faster and faster and faster with it. يفعل يفعلان يفعلون تفعل تفعلان يفعلنا تفعل تفعلان تفعلون تفعلين تفعلان تفعلنا أفعل نفعل. Over and over and over until you have that mastered, and then we'll move on to the next lesson.